Hey y'all, it's Indigo here, coming at you with round 2 of the Grand Arena. This is season 1, week 1, and this is my opponent. When I went in to go do my attacks, he had already cleared his side of the board, and he one-shot almost everything, but he went 2 times on my Karth team. So this is his defense. Up top you can see he's got some bounty hunters and a Karth team, and then down south he's got First Order and then some Mother Talzin lead Nightsisters. And based on the fact that he one-shot everything, I was pretty much expecting that he kept his Darth Revan for offense. He didn't have any other viable counter against Darth Revan. So if he didn't keep it, I wouldn't have known what he used. So he looks like he set a pretty light front zone up top and on bottom. So I was thinking he pretty much went light on defense and heavy on offense. So I got the tools in the toolbox to deal with these squads. Let's get into it and I'll show you how things went down. The first thing I'm going to do is start up top. He's got his bounty hunters. I know exactly what I'm going to use for those. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know my preferred counter is a nice 60 points using my Imperial Troopers. I check the speeds and all that. Of course, my Stark is going to go first. And anytime he goes first, it's an easy win. So I love when they put bounty hunters down that are pretty slow. You can see I'm just mowing through them. There's not a ton of strategy. Just focus on getting the quick kills. Make sure your troopers are modded for heavy damage, which mine are. And now I can focus on getting bossed down. Throw the grenade to increase some cooldowns. Easy, just wiping them out. So, just got Embo left there. And it's going to be a nice 60 banner win for me. No big deal there. And there we have it. 60 banners. We'll go ahead and take out that Karth team that he's got there. And I like to use my First Order. I'm surprised a lot of people still struggle with Karth teams, but it doesn't matter if they use a standard Karth team or if they're putting Wampa with their Karth team even. It makes zero difference to a First Order counter team, because instead of stunning Zalbar, you would just stun Wampa and keep him sidelined. Other than that, this is almost a guaranteed 60 banner team. I mean, sometimes you'll get 58, 59, but this definitely has the potential to get you 60. And that's what you want, is teams that you can be banner efficient with and get high banner wins. Now, luckily I'm in a situation where my opponent's already gone. I know what I have to score, and as long as I one-shot everything, I'm in good shape. I have some room to mess around. But even if I went to, I would still have a little bit of room to go because his banner efficiency just wasn't very good. But I like to try and hit it close to 60. I'm not a big fan of, going undermanned and trying to squeeze out the 61, 62, whatever banner wins. If I can get 60, I call it good. So that's what I work on. You can see I've got everybody buffed up, full health, full protection. So this is where I could drag the battle out if that wasn't the case, because there's plenty of time on the clock. But I don't need to do that here. Like I said, everybody's full up. So as long as I can keep it that way, I'm going to get my 60 banners. Take out Juhani. And that'll do it. So there she goes. Got my 60. Done with that zone. I'll show you guys what's waiting in the back. So he put up a Shaak T clones team, and then he's got a Kira Nest team, but also with Newt in there. So that's a little bit tricky because you don't see teams like that, but you do see the clones. A lot of people are running these Shaak T with clones teams. So we'll come back to these. Go ahead and work down south and get rid of those 2 teams he's got there, and then uncover and see what's in the back. I don't think he set the meta teams like Darth Revan, Jedi Revan, based on how he cleared it. But let's get rid of these. So for Nightsisters, this is my preferred counter, Padme. I love this team because it's perfect. There's enough healing going on, enough protection up. The fact that they can't get debuffed, you don't have to worry about them getting stunned too much. I mean, you see GK got it there. So I had set my Xeris on defense. Usually I like to throw her in with the Padme team, but I put her on defense this time for one of my teams, so I was looking at who I should add to go with Padme against Nightsisters. And they do a good enough job, but I didn't want to waste like C3PO in case I needed my JTR team to go against Geos or something. So I threw Shaak T in there. In here, she's like 4 or 5 stars. She's gear 11, only missing one piece to gear 12 that I can't give her yet. But she's maxed out other than that. Doesn't have any Zetas on her, but they're not relevant in a Padme team anyway. Well, I figured she'd be good for the fact that she can call some assists and help with the heals. She heals up a little bit, so, you know, figure I'd try her out, give her a shot. Maybe she can help out with the plague since I don't have Xeris to throw in there. And it seems like she does okay. So if you guys do have, you know, if you're like me and you got a halfway finished Shaak T, don't just waste her and be like, oh, I'm going to throw her as a lead for the clones and just put a crappy team on defense. You know, she can pull her own weight in the squad if you ever mod it up decently and decently geared and you're just low on stars. So it's not a bad place to put her. You can see how she performs here. She's got calling the assists and helping out with the heals. You know, does her job. I got no complaints. It's the first time I ever messed around with her, and she seemed to do okay. So that was my thoughts on it anyway. You can see I took out those Nightsisters and got 57 banners doing it. So good enough. So here's my opponent's first order team. I went ahead and used my BB-8. I run the General Grievous droid team as a counter for Darth Revan. So I was gambling a little bit. I was like, you know, if he's got Darth Revan in the back, I won't have this team because I need to burn BB-8 with my JTR here in order to be fast enough to get the job done. But I was like, there's no way that he can beat mine in one shot. Like, he just didn't have the counters. So it is important to kind of know your opponent's roster, do your homework. But, you know, you always do have that bit where you second guess yourself and you're not sure. So I went ahead and gambled a little bit. I mean, not much of a gamble, but, you know, you never know how crazy your opponent could be. So I used my BB-8 here, and it goes off just textbook. Even though he threw Xeris in there with FO, it doesn't matter because you have the healing immunity. And so all you have to do to effectively use this resistance team against FO is dogpile the one that you use the healing immunity on. Whenever you use Ray's ability to call someone to assist, and I do BB-8 because he'll call for another one, then you just make sure to dogpile that person while their healing immunity is up. So that's what I did. Got rid of crew. Now I got Xylo there. Stormtrooper over in the back. And then still Xeris. Takes a little bit longer with Xeris just because of the heals. And the fact that they heal on the status effects anyway. And Resistance does put out plenty of status effects. So you're constantly like healing the enemy team. Even though you don't mean to. That's why you utilize that move from Rey. You have to wait for the healing immunity. And you can see that's on Xylo right now. So I'm working on getting him down best I can. Taking chunks out of him. Keep working on him. He's also the engine that drives the team in terms of turn meter. So once he goes, then you don't have to worry about them taking as many turns. So it's nice. So keep piling on him, wave at Xeris just so she can't get a heal off. And there he goes. Now it gets a bit easier. Throw some burning down. And I'm trying to remember to use the abilities. See, top off protection. I'm using Holdo and using Finn's ability. I always forget that they have these kind of healing abilities. So it's a good way to top off your team when you know you have the win in the bag. Go ahead and use the protection restoring and the healing and get those full banners. I always forget about those. So there we go. 60 banners for that team too. So doing all right. See what he's got waiting in the back there. Okay, so he just put down a regular EP team, and then he's got a General Grievous team. Got plenty of Zetas on there, but it's only a G12 Grievous. So definitely not as bad as it could be. But I'll use the same counter I normally use anyway, even if it was a G13 Grievous. Use my Treya team. First move is to turn meter swap, Thrawn to Treya, isolate Magna Guard. And then after you isolate, then Scion will go do his AoE, dispel all the buffs and get him out of stealth. Get a Drain Force from Nihilus there. And now I have Fracture. You can throw that on Grievous. And that way that'll kind of sideline him just a little bit so you can put in work on the others. You really want to go after B2. Once he has the Zeta, he's kind of the engine that drives the this droid team. So you definitely want to take him out. And that's what I'm doing. These guys modded though where they hit kind of hard. And the bad thing about this team is you really can't be too efficient because you can't gain much protection back. You've got Thrawn and you've got, Treya can get protection up whenever she does her isolate move. Get protection up. But there's not a lot. Like, they don't heal back protection on their own. Just health. And the only reason mine are making it this far, you see Scion is red barred and I lost Thrawn. Annihilated Grievous there. So there's the big damage dealer gone. But mine are gear 13. Like, everybody on this team is, Treya, Scion, and Thrawn are all gear 13. That's why they could take a heavy beating. And I'd highly recommend doing that, to your Treya and your Scion, if not the rest of the team, because they're the ones that take a lot of punishment. Whether you're going up against Geos or General Grievous or whatever, you want them to be able to tank it out and to survive. Now I'm just going against Droideka. Gotta try and heal up best I can, even though I already lost Thrawn and nobody's getting their protection back. I still was able to get 53 banners out of that team. So beating it in one, that's all I needed to do. But I try to be as efficient as I can. So I still got the EP team left there. And I got those other two teams up top. I'm going to go back to those teams and let's clear those off and you can see what I've used there. I went ahead and used my CLS with Wampa against their Enfys Nest team. This team was a little weird because it had Newt on it. But I do know that my CLS with Wampa can tear up nests. So I don't need to worry about saving Treya or saving Darth Nihilus. I hate to have to burn them. I mean, there's about 10 teams that everyone says, oh, use Treya. But you only got one Treya. So this is how I like to deal with teams that have Nest on them. And it does a pretty good job. It works just the same as you would with your normal CLS team. Only thing you want to try and do is time it so that your Wampa can get the damage in on Nest whenever she takes her turn. Right there you can see I got Kira stunned. Took out Newt for the first time. But Newt is in stealth. Take out Kira there. Now it's just Nest and Newt. And he's out of stealth. So go ahead and attack him. Get him gone. Now it's just down to a regular solo Nest. And the way you beat a solo Nest is to time it. Get a heavy damage move that comes right at the right time. And so it takes a minute, but there's 3 minutes, 40 seconds or whatever left on the clock. So plenty of time to make that happen. And I like Chopper in there because Chopper has enough non-hitting moves that you can use him to kind of juggle, you don't want to hit at the wrong time. So right now Nest is stunned. We'll be able to take Nest out here in a minute. Chewy does enough damage, boom. Didn't have to use Wampa. Chewy's modded to hit nice and hard too. I got Gear 13 Chewy. So that was that. Shaak T clones, I can't tell you what's an efficient counter, but if you have a top team left, like right here, I've got Jedi Knight Revan left, no problem. Dogpile Shaak T, get her gone, then it's just clones to deal with. You don't have to worry about them getting all that retribution, anything like that from her unique because she's out of the picture. So get rid of her. It's just a matter of taking them out, one by one. I try and get rid of Rex, but I think he does have the Zeta on 5s where 5s will die for somebody. As you can see, I think that's Rex that's red barred. And then it killed 5s and he got full health and protection back. So we just kill him again. Got him down to yellow. Taunt with Kenobi just to give myself some time. Took him out. Got 2 left. And now it's just about trying to heal up. Make sure I spread enough buffs around. Get some foresight going. Anything I can do to squeeze out just an extra banner or 2. But there's no danger of losing, obviously. I was trying to think of which move I should do that would help heal up some protection, make sure everybody got topped off. And they did, though. 60 banners. Definitely good enough for me now. So I just got that last team down there. And at this point, depending on what your opponent sets, you might be running low. So I just went ahead and mirror matched it. I got my own EP team. And then I got IPD with the Zeta, since I didn't use him in a Darth Revan counter with General Grievous. I had some options. And I was wondering about Wampa, letting Wampa get powered up. But I got a pretty potent Empire team. So you can see I got some nice stuns there. I've got Shore Trooper to help heal up and keep a taunt up. Other than that, everybody else can keep them debuffed. And I know my team is better modded than his. I checked his mods before I did the battle. I knew I was going to go first. And once you go first and get the debuff train going, you're going to keep feeding turn meter to your team. So you don't have to worry about them going, taking too many turns, anything like that. And like I said, I got the Zeta on my IPD, so I can throw a target lock on them. And they're not going to get any kind of buff for anything. So that helps eliminate Royal Guard being able to steal the focus away and taunt whenever they hit half health. But I just cleared it there because I wanted to remove some debuffs, fuel some more turn meter. Got rid of Royal Guard. Now I just got Wampa and Tarkin left. And you can see my team's barely touched. So nothing at all to worry about. Knew I was going to clear this one. Just a matter of going and getting it done. Having the right pieces left, being able to knock them out. Didn't even need to blow up my IPD and got 59 banners. So I'll take it. That was that. It was a pretty light defense. Kind of easy match this go around. Huge contrast to my last match where the guy had, more mods and better mods and twice as many Gear 13 characters as I did. It was crazy. This one, was much, much easier. Even though the guy was 5.3 mil and I'm 4.7. That was it. I ended up pulling out the win. So we'll see you guys in the next round. Shout out to my buddy Mikayas. He runs a modding service. He'll go through, make sure you got the right squad compositions and the right mods on the right characters. Give your account a real nice tune-up. I'll put the link to his Discord in my description. Go ahead and check him out. Tell him Indigo sent you. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share your comments down below, and hopefully you'll check out my other videos on my channel. Peace.